Hi, I'm Connie. Welcome to How to Have a Happy Family Get Together. I want to start out with this funny little story. It was a story about three sons who were giving a gift to their mom. Three sons left home to make their fortunes, and they all did very well. One day, the three competitive brothers got back together to discuss the gifts that they were giving to their elderly mother. The first one said, I built a big house for mother. The second said, I got her a Mercedes Benz with a driver. And the third one said, I got you both beat. You know how mom enjoys the Bible and how she can't see very well anymore? Well, I sent her a brown parrot and he can recite the whole Bible. It took 20 months in a monastery, 12 years to teach him. I had to pledge to contribute $100,000 for 10 years for them to train him. But it was worth it. Mom has to just name the chapter and the verse, and the parrot will recite it. Soon after, their mother sent out her thank you letters. To the first son, she wrote, Milton, the house you built is so huge. I can only live in one room and I have to clean the rest of it. The second son, she wrote, Marty, I'm too old to travel. I stay home all the time, so I never use the Mercedes, and the driver is so rude. To the third son, her message was softer. Dearest Melvin, you are the only son to have the good sense to know what your mother likes. Thank you. The chicken was delicious. Isn't that how it goes sometimes when it comes to family and get togethers? Everybody comes and, we're thinking about what we're going to share and what we're going to talk about. Well, the thing is this, when we get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, some of us look forward to it, and some people are like not looking forward to it. So I want you to stop and think. Each person thinks of it differently. The hostess is thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to get my house cleaned. I've got to get food ready. I have to get tables and chairs, and everything's got to be looking good. The person who lives far away is thinking, oh, great, I'm going to have to drive half the day to get there, right? And then there's always those people who are loud and irritating, and it's frustrating when we have a family get together. But what if you could think of it differently and experience it differently? Yes, there is the bragger. There is the space invader, the person who's too close when you're trying to cook, or they're in your face. They keep coming closer and closer and closer when they're talking to you. And there's that person who brings the black cloud in with them every single year. And yes, the complainer. And I know we can do without these things, but I believe that if we refocus our attentions, we can have a better year this year. So I want you to think about that brother, that sister, that aunt, that uncle, that parent who gets under your skin. I want you to think a little bit about this. So today we're going to look at 3 ways that you can make this year awesome at your family gathering. So let's get started. First of all, we all have assumptions. We assume we think alike. We think we assume that we want the same things. We assume that person who was a pain last year is going to be a pain this year. Well, maybe they'll be different. So we have to lay aside our assumptions and stop thinking the same way we think every single year. The second one is jealousy. Think about the story I read at the beginning. Was there somebody in your family you were jealous of? Or is there somebody always one-upping you because they're jealous of you? We have to let jealousy go. Jealousy only causes trouble, and it means we're thinking about ourselves a little too much. And if somebody is jealous of you, have mercy on them. Love them anyway, right? All right, and then there's those people who are holding a grudge. Something happened 10 years ago, and they're still hating on you for it. They're holding a grudge. Well, here's the thing when we don't forgive people. Not forgiving someone is like drinking poison, because you're being poisoned by all that frustration, and expecting the other person to die. I know, that's kind of heavy, isn't it? Drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And so the only person you can control is you. And so that means you're the one who has to let go of things, lighten up. Hey, so you can enjoy life, right? And then we all bring in a little bit of stress. And so, according to the day and according to the personality styles and how people deal with stress, you're going to see a little bit of that day. But what if everybody took a breath of fresh air and they breathed out and they thought of all the things that they appreciated about their family? Well, John Maxwell says, your thinking today, more than anything else, shapes the way you live. It's true that if you change your thinking, you can change your life. Are you living the life you want to live? In Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And if I got stinking thinking, I got a stinking heart, then I'm going to be stinking with everybody else, right? And the first person I have to pay attention to is me, because I'm the only person I can control. I can control anything anybody else does. Well, my name is Connie Durham, and I'm known as the relationship transformer because I know all about communication styles and how people think. And that helps me kind of know what people want from me and what people expect from me. People get under one another's skin because they don't understand each other. They have different perspectives, they have different assumptions, and they're expecting the other person to think the same way that they do, act the same way they do, and respond the same way they do. Well, this is what makes the world go round, and it's what makes it interesting. All the different people and how we all react and respond differently. There's different temperaments, communication styles, and, we see and deal with people around us each and every day. So either we get it and we learn to enjoy life and we understand that we're different, or we're constantly judging and thinking about what somebody else should be doing. I can only control me. The second thing I want to say today is that if you are the hostess, it looks very different than coming in as a guest. If you are the hostess at a get together, that means you've been cleaning your house. You've been washing everything, cleaning the baseboards, getting out the tables, dusting them off, finding the tablecloths, looking for the centerpieces. And, they may be bringing food, but maybe you're doing the main part, like the turkey or the ham or the roast. And so if we're not the hostess, we want to stop and think about that hostess and thank them for all that they've done for us. Thank them for hosting the thing, because we had to drive or whatever, but they hosted it. They did a lot of work before you got there. And then there's the perspective of the other people who are coming in, and they're maybe excited about the gathering, and they're just thinking about who they're going to see or what they're going to tell about, and they're not even thinking about the hostess. They're not thinking about being helpful. But guess what? There are always those people who are helpful. Let's learn to focus on the good part, the good things that people do instead of what they're not doing. I call this the abundance thinking. And I have noticed in the past couple of years, different situations, many situations where we have the lack of, we look for what we don't have, what people aren't doing. Instead of paying attention to what they are doing, that's good. Give attention to what you want in life and you'll get more of it. Give attention to the negative and you'll keep getting it. You might rewind and say that again, right? Abundance thinking. The third thing is, if we all learn to respect each other and respect our differences and to understand a little bit more and support each other in the ways I'm going to show you right now, then we're going to have a better dinner. So I'm going to use the acronym, I think that's the right word, respect. And so we're going to spell the word respect as we finish today. The first word, R, is for respect your differences. Be aware that sometimes some people are very patient and some people are very impatient, and you can't change them. And so you just kind of have to go with the flow and learn not to take it personal. Everybody has different comfort zones. Some are comfortable talking to everyone at the table, and others just need a little quiet spot, and they just need one person to talk to. They like to talk one-on-one. And also know that everyone's bringing in different circumstances. What's been going on within the last couple of months? That makes a lot of difference. And, now you're with family and you need your family to care and pay attention. But so often we're just thinking about me and what I'm doing. And so we have to learn to be that way on purpose to think about others. And guess what? It makes better conversation too when you're talking about others and asking questions about them. It's a nicer conversation. And the truth is, you want to learn to treat others the way you want to be treated. Because when you treat them good, guess what? They treat you better back. And that works great. E is for eliminate the negative thoughts and words. Often we kill our mood simply by starting to dread something that's coming up. Maybe we dread that hour drive to our family. And so we start talking to ourselves a week ahead and dragging ourselves down and sapping our energy because we're thinking negatively. So I learned this a while back. Let your yeses be yes and your nos be no. And so either I'm going to say, no, I'm not coming to the family thing. I'm thinking, no, I don't care about you and I'm not coming. Or you have to say yes and you have to focus on what's going to be good that day. Clear your mind of those negative thoughts. Focus on what's going to be good that day. So eliminating those words. And I have a little poem at the end that is profound upon what we think and the actions that we take. S is for sign around every person's neck. Now, here's the biggest one you want to remember. Remember it everywhere you go. Remember it with your spouse. Remember it with your kids. And it is. Everyone has a sign around their neck that says, drum roll, make me feel important. Yes. Those kids that are around your ankles giving you a hard time, being stinking little things, they have a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. So when you go into that get together and you see that hostess, first thing you want to do is make her feel important and thank her for having the family get together. You just made a positive deposit in that relationship whenever you do it. And you feel good about yourself too because you're thinking about somebody besides yourself. So make me feel important. It's around your spouse's neck. It's around your mom's neck. It's around your dad's neck. It's around your sisters, your aunt. It's around everyone's neck. Now you have a big job to do, right? It's a big job. Then P is for plan to listen more than you talk. I personally am a talker, and I didn't used to know this, but now I know. And, I enjoy learning about other people because I put that sign around their neck and make them feel important. And I'm excited to hear about what they're doing because, hey, I know all about me and what I'm doing. So plan to listen more than talk. And how do you do that? Sometimes you have to ask a question. So think about 3, 4, 5 questions that you can ask each person whenever you get to your family gathering. And you'll find that even that person who's not talkative usually will answer and you'll start a conversation. You'll start a conversation with that person who's usually quiet and sitting in the corner and they're miserable because there's no one talking to them. And then E is for everyone has something good about them. Remember the abundance thing? Everyone has something good about them. Yes, you can find something good about Uncle Harry. Yes, you can. Everyone has something good about them. Maybe they're helpful. Maybe they're entertaining. Maybe they're planners and they got the whole thing together. Maybe that person that everything's going crazy and you're like, oh my gosh, I need some help. And they take charge and they help. Everybody's got something good about them. But guess what? You have to communicate and you have to tell them you need help because they cannot read your mind. They can't read your mind. C is for care more. Be the person you want to see. Stop expecting and start giving. And then T is for think. Yes, we have to think about what we want. We have to think about using the right words. We have to think about caring about people sometimes. Think, be more patient, be more helpful, bring joy, compliment. I believe an extraordinary life begins with us. Life is what we make it. I have one more thing to share. But I hope you'll visit me at the Extraordinary Marriage. Like I said, I'm known as the Relationship Transformer. I've just started a brand new podcast in November of 23, and I do hope you'll join me there and find some different tips for that. Also, I have a free love expertise quiz for you in the show notes for this conference. And I want to share this as we finish today. I want you to think about watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words because they become your actions. Watch your actions because they become habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. And watch your character because your character will become your destiny. Thank you for listening. I'm Connie Durham, and let this year be the year of love for you and your family.